लू और गर्मी इतना हीट हो जाता है कि रिक्शा इतनी मतलब मेरी मेटल की बॉडी रिक्शा है, इतना हीट हो जाता है कि मतलब आवन।
Last year was the hottest year on record. We've breached 1.5 degrees above industrial temperatures.
I got dehydrated. I panicked that something was wrong with my baby.
We've seen a 60% increase in heat-related mortality.
En obras en Granada ha habido casos de muerte por golpe de calor.
In Australia, extreme heat is responsible for $7 billion in lost productivity every year. It not only threatens our lives, but it threatens our livelihoods.
We know that 2.4 billion people in the workforce will be impacted by extreme heat.
मतलब बता नहीं सकता इतनी गर्मी मतलब बढ़ रही है। इसी साल में मार्च में 38-39 तक गर्मी चली गई थी। अंदर से अजीब एकदम होते रहता है कि मतलब ना बॉडी इतनी वीक हो जाती है कि सब चक्कर आने लगता है। आदमी एकदम वो तुम बोलते ना एकदम पागल मेंटली हो जाता है एकदम से। मतलब अभी मैं रिक्शा मतलब दिन में चलाने मतलब मेरे को रिक्शा मतलब चलाने जमता नहीं है, उसमें कोई बदलाव नहीं है। खाली क्या है जो मेरी कमाई है जो दिन में मैं अगर जो कमा सकता था लेकिन दिन में मैं नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, वो रात में मुझे करने हो नहीं पा रहा है। ऊपर से बच्ची का खर्चा, वाइफ का खर्चा, फिर घर का राशन, ये पूरा मैनेज मैं कर नहीं पाता हूँ।
Tenemos casi 3 meses con temperaturas superiores a 40 grados, que antes no ocurría. Muchas veces trabajamos en la última planta de la construcción, entonces no hay ninguna sombra.
Temperature is actually measured in the shade. Often, construction workers are exposed to direct solar radiation, which means they'll be exposed to temperatures that are at least 15 degrees Celsius higher. So that's like 58 degrees Celsius instead of 43 degrees Celsius. That's an enormous heat load on the body.
Bueno, mi familia y mis amigos lo que me comentan es que a ver si lo dejo.
Heat waves are different in different places because people are acclimatized to different temperatures. So a heat wave in the UK above 28 degrees is obviously different. In Tanzania, wouldn't classify a heat wave. We know that there are certain vulnerable populations. Children are particularly vulnerable to increases in heat. Pregnant people are particularly vulnerable as well.
People don't usually think that the rainy UK can have any warm months, but actually we are starting to get a lot of heat waves and the country is not ready for that. During the summer heat wave, I was between 12 and 17 weeks pregnant. It's quite tough for a pregnant teacher anyway, let alone during a heat wave.
Rises in temperature affect preterm birth, it affects neurodevelopment of babies, and so we need to know how this is impacted so that we can best protect the mothers and babies.
If we're going to not just survive, but thrive in a warmer future, we need to reimagine the way in which we safeguard human health against the threat of extreme heat and hot weather.
We need to reduce the use of fossil fuels globally and protect those most vulnerable to the effects of climate change. But we also know that temperatures are going to continue to increase, so we need to adapt in a context-specific way.
We can break up work shifts, we can change them to different times of the day to reduce heat exposure. They can be triggered by a heat alert system, which is not just depending on temperature, but also integrates things like the amount of solar radiation there is, whether it's cloudy, whether it's clear.
Providing scientific evidence on how people are impacted by heat means that this evidence can then be used by policymakers to change policies.
It's in the employer's interest to take extreme heat seriously. Of course, it impacts the health and well-being of their employees, but it also affects their bottom line. So there is really no reason why they shouldn't be taking heat seriously and doing their best to try to implement evidence-based solutions that help everybody in the workplace cope with extreme heat.